Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fabulous. Today is Monday. It is the first day of May. Can you believe that? You know what that means?
It's May Day.
May Day. Yes, it is. Are you going to do May Day baskets, Heidi?
I think so.
Are you?
I love May Day baskets.
Have to do May Day baskets for our neighbors. They'd love that. Coming up here, we've got a special guest. We're going to be visiting with Charity Wright. We're going to be talking about hairstyles. She's a hairstylist, and she does all kinds of crazy things, like new, trendy kind of stuff. And she's kind of getting pretty well known for it. And we're going to chat with Charity later in the program. With extreme wealth comes extreme possibilities. This is our quote for the day, by the way. It's from Richard Branson. With extreme wealth comes extreme responsibility. And the responsibility for me is to invest in creating new businesses, create jobs, employ people, and to put money aside to tackle issues where we can make a difference. End quote. Richard Branson. I like that guy. I think he would be fun to hang out with. I really do. He has just really kind of a neat story his whole entire life. I read his book and was fascinated with some of the stuff that he's been through. Just a neat guy. Coming up, we got some special things going on today. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, May the 1st. It's May Day. In addition to May Day, it's Amtrak Day, Batman Day, Beltane Executive Coaching Day, Global Love Day, Keep Kids Alive, Drive 25 Day, Law Day, Lay Day, Lemonade Day, and Loyalty Day. Also, it is Melanoma Monday. It is Mother Goose Day, National Bubba Day, National Library Legislative Day, National Purebred Dog Day, New Homeowners Day, School Principals Day, Silver Star Day, and Stepmother's Day. A lot of stuff going on today.
All right.
Any of those in particular that you're going to celebrate today?
Lay Day.
Lay Day. Hubba hubba. And May Day. Both May Day and Lay Day. Wow. Lucky me. She's my wife, by the way, so I'm not just some dirty old man. I'm probably that too, but not just some dirty old man. Coming up, we got some more fun stuff. That's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
How much do you pay for cable or satellite? Don't forget your DVR rental fees and online movie accounts. When you add it all up, many people are paying well over $100 a month. Some pay way more. What if you could cut that down to zero? There's a device that surfs the net to find shows and programs you like with no monthly fee. Many have already cut their cable or tossed out their dish. If you have internet and a TV, you're all set. Learn more about this awesome technology that can save you money every month at channelsurfertv.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 25% at channelsurfertv.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. This poor lady, my goodness, what a bad day she had. First of all, it's just a case of mistaken identity for a woman in Fort Worth, Texas. Shortly after she left an ATM at a bank, 39-year-old found herself being stopped by the police, cuffed and stuffed into the back of a police car. First, she was pushed to the ground, had guns pointed at her. She thought, did I run a stop sign? What happened? Well, the cops thought that she robbed the bank.
Okay.
Turns out that she hadn't. She was just getting into her car to leave the ATM. A bank robber was fleeing the Bank of America at about the same time. A teller thought her car was the getaway vehicle.
Oh, no.
Police quickly figured out they had the wrong person. The mistaken identity incident was on top of an already unpleasant experience because at the bank, the ATM, it says in the story, the ATM machine, which always drives me nuts. The M from ATM is machine. So no. The ATM took her cash but did not give her a receipt. So she got ripped off by the machine, and then she got caught by the police.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
man.
The real crook was at large. They couldn't find that person. They're like, yeah, we don't know. We were busy arresting you.
That's a bad day all around right there.
Oh, and it's sad because there was a teller who thought she was doing a good job. She saw the person run out, and then they were out of her line of sight, and then she saw this car squealing away, and she was taken off in a hurry because she was mad. I didn't even get my stupid receipt. I probably should have just went inside. Well, it's probably a good thing you didn't go inside. There was a robbery going on in there. So they would have taken your cash, too, and they also wouldn't have given you a receipt. So there you go. A little case of mistaken identity. Again, that happened in Fort Worth, Texas, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. We're going to head to Lodi, California, and I'm just going to say that one more time because that's a fun name to say.
Lodi.
Lodi. 54-year-old parolee Daniel Santos Ramirez is back behind bars after stopping by Walmart. Well, shopping at a Walmart isn't really a crime. Ramirez left some items behind at the checkout stand after making his purchase. 9 bags of meth and $420 in cash. Ramirez was nice enough to leave behind his wallet and his ID to make the job of arresting him so much easier. His timing was also unfortunate. He was due to get off parole 3 days later. So he was 3 days from being done with parole, and then he went into a Walmart and left a bunch of drugs and money and his ID. I don't quite know what he was thinking, but
He clearly was not.
He wasn't. Here's the funny thing. Our moment of duh, which is coming up in a bit, also happened at a Walmart. What are the odds of that?
I'd say pretty good.
No. I don't think we've had a story about Walmart in a long time. I mean, I can't even think of the last one. For a while there, it was like every other day we had a McDonald's story, and then it was like Starbucks for like a week and a half. I don't know where these stories were just coming out of the woodwork. So today, 2 Walmart stories, and the other one is on the way.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Police say employees at a Walmart in New Hampshire called to report a young man was in the store in an orange prison jumpsuit with handcuffs, asking where he could find a hacksaw. Not good. As it turns out, Jonah Turner had not escaped from anywhere. He was just trying to have fun and record a little prank video.
Oh.
He told the police, hey, it's just a prank. They said, guess what? You're under arrest because it's also disorderly conduct.
Oh.
So that is illegal to do exactly what he was doing. Prank or no prank.
Why is that illegal?
Because what happened? He was there. It's called disorderly conduct. He was acting in a way that he was, pretending to be somebody he wasn't, that was doing something wrong.
So?
It caused
he didn't harm anybody.
He did. He caused a lot of problems. Think about how many dollars were spent just checking out this Yahoo to find out if it was really something to be worried about or not. So I get it. Just like there are people who, pull pranks, and some of these pranks, they're going to go wrong one of these days. Like there was a prank where somebody...
where they jump out dressed as a creepy clown and they start chasing people
You're going to
down.
jump out in front of the wrong person.
Somebody who's got a concealed carry, and you'll get shot.
And when you're dead and they go, oh, that was just a prank, you go, well, sorry, I didn't know it was a prank.
Who's laughing now?
Whose fault is that? So kids, as much fun as the prank videos are, be careful out there.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your Scoop of the Day. Heidi, I don't know if you're going to like this or if you're not going to like this, but IKEA, which you like, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about launching a restaurant chain. What do you think? Is that a good thing?
Well, no, I don't think so. But they've already got
their little hot dogs and stuff
food
in
in their stores. Why would they need a restaurant chain?
They're thinking about it. Hey, there's a new trendy drink.
Is their restaurant chain going to serve just meatballs and the crappy food that they have in the stores?
It's going to be Swedish fish. That's all they're going to have.
I really like the stores.
I like the hot dogs. Those are good. The new trendy drink, by the way, Heidi, is something that's interesting. It's called clear coffee. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yeah, it's coffee, but it's clear. And the reason? So you're not continually staining your teeth. Because there are people who have had to go in and have their teeth whitened over and over and over, and they quit drinking coffee. So coffee makers were going, okay, how can we get people to...
Well, how do they make it clear?
I don't know. They take all the color out of it, apparently. I don't know. Netflix says it is true. There are people who have been posting this online, and others have disagreed, but it is true. Netflix subscribers have spent over 500 million hours watching Adam Sandler movies.
Wow.
And now you know
that's a lot.
The statistic is true. I wonder how many millions of hours we've spent watching Steve Guttenberg movies. One? I don't know. Hey, police of Sperry, Oklahoma, the police chief there wrote himself a $300 speeding ticket. A citizen complained about seeing him speeding. He admitted, yep, you know what? I was speeding, and he's paying the fine of $300.
We had a story about another guy that got caught on a speed camera. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And he didn't fight it. He paid it, which I thought was cool. Japan is trying to stop their death by overworking problem by placing a limit of 100 hours of overtime per month.
Whoa.
Yeah, so apparently we're not the only ones that work too much. No
100
more
hours of overtime.
No
a
more than
month.
100 hours of overtime
Oh my
per
gosh.
month. That's a lot. Giving Gatorade the slip says everything you need for a hardcore workout you can find behind the peels of a banana. Researchers are testing bananas versus Gatorade, and they're finding out that bananas have a lot of the benefits that you get from things like Gatorade, but they're healthier because there's less sugar.
But they don't help much when you're thirsty.
Yeah, probably not.
You can drink a banana.
Oh, man, I'm thirsty. I'm going to peel open a banana and squish it into my mouth. I've never had banana juice. Is there much juice
There
in a
is
banana?
no juice in a banana.
It's just mush. Drink it through a straw.
Gross.
I've actually had bananas that I think you could drink through a straw. They were kind of brown on the
I
outside.
do not like bananas. There's like 1 day grace period where you can eat a banana.
Yeah,
Anything
it's a
else
tough-
is not good.
It's
It's a tough
toughie.
fruit.
It's like, oh, it's not ripe enough. Now it's too ripe. That was 5 minutes ago. A store in Scottsdale, Arizona is offering a camera angled in such a way that women can see their backsides to see how they look in those jeans. You think that's a good idea?
Why not just look over your shoulder in
I
the
don't know.
mirror?
But apparently they say that doesn't work.
Okay.
Recent study shows that square dancing can add 10 years to your life. Researchers say it combines all the positive aspects of intense physical activity with none of the negatives. Low impact activity that requires constant movement and all of the direction changes keep your body well toned. So maybe you'll see fewer yoga classes and fewer Zumba classes and more square dancing classes. And then again, maybe not. Philadelphia University of Sciences discovered that ingesting 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil each day provides pain relief similar to taking ibuprofen. Just take the ibuprofen. Why would you? What you doing over there? Just finishing up my my last tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil.
Gross.
Why? Well, I got some pains I'm working on.
And the ibuprofen would be cheaper too. By
I
the
just
time
can't even
olive
imagine.
oil is
Who does-
expensive.
Philadelphia University is working on this. Why are you working on this? Go cure something. I mean, just anything. Cure something. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Imagine the sand between your toes and an ice-cold drink in your hand. Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
Week-long event with 80s music from over a dozen awesome bands.
Plus, meet 80s icons from the movies like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and several others.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
The website is 80sinthesand.com.
Book your week-long 80s vacation right now at 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us right now as we're getting to the time where seasons change. We're going to be going from spring to summer, and this is a time when wardrobes change and people are changing their wardrobe and changing their look. And we have with us right now somebody that can maybe help you with that, Charity Wright. And Charity Wright is on the line with us. How are you doing, Charity?
I'm well. How are you today, John?
Very good. I don't get to talk to stylists very often, but you get to do all kinds of fun stuff and help people with their look, don't you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's loads of fun.
Now, so I'm on your Facebook page, and I see that there's some images on here where people have changed the color of their hair. And, so some of these colors are like pretty wild and bright colors, and then there's some that look pretty natural. Is that kind of a common thing right now where people are changing their hair colors? Is that a big thing when it comes to style?
Oh, yes. Many people love to change it up, especially they love to change along with the seasons. It's a lot of fun to watch the transformation. There are just a few things about color that I always try to warn my clients about. Making sure that you're choosing the right color that's most fitting to your natural skin tone, and you definitely want to stay within that color palette so that you don't create a clash for yourself.
Are there some colors that are like really popular right now? Because I see on here there's one that's kind of like a bright, almost a red. I've seen people with like blue and purple. Is that popular, or is that not quite so popular?
Well, it's popular depending on what industry you're in. Of course, you have a lot of artists that are very, very artsy beyond whether they're a musician or they're an actual artist. They do paintings. They tend to be on the more artsy side. So they generally will experiment a little more with color. Of course, other hairstylists as well, just to show the art of hair and what they also do. So they may do it as a promotion of their business. And because hair color is something that is very visible, a very visible change on someone's look, that's another way that other hairstylists also promote that they offer those services.
Very nice. So now this time of season when we're changing from spring wardrobe to summer wardrobe, that's also a time that people can kind of let their personality be shown. What are some of the popular things that you're seeing for this summer here?
For the summer, so far, I'm seeing a lot of blonde. Surprisingly, it's a very classic look. However, I've seen blonde. I've seen some purple as well. I think as an expression of creativity, hair color is the way to go, but definitely a lot of blonde. The only caution that I have with blonde is skin tone. We have different skin tones. We have those who have a warmer skin tone. We have some that have cool tones. And there are times that they're not choosing the right color blonde, because even blonde comes in a variety of shades.
Yeah.
And so just choosing the right tone of blonde will, ensure that you have a more natural, polished look.
Very nice. Again, visiting right now with Charity Wright. She's a personal stylist. How long have you been doing this, Charity?
Oh, for many years, beyond 10 years. I used to own my own hair salon myself. So my background is cosmetology. And in that, I also offer personal styling services to many of my clients. And so it was kind of a duality for me, lots of fun. So it kept things fresh. It kept things interesting. But I just recently, over the last couple of years, made the personal styling my sole business. I started a family, and it was very hard, very difficult to maintain a salon, being that I was there many, many hours, and maintain home life as well. So the personal styling allowed me a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more time with my family.
That's really cool. Now, where are you located in the world? I guess I didn't even ask that.
The closest town that I would say that's recognizable would be Orlando, Florida. Okay. They have many little towns that are, on the outskirts that I actually am located, but Orlando is, I consider, my hometown.
Very cool. Well, it's been nice to visit with you, and it's fun, like as we're getting to this different season and people are kind of changing their wardrobe, it's also a fun time if they want to do something different with their hair. And I've noticed that that's something that, in the past, it seemed like you'd see young kids that would be a little more creative. And, a lot of people that are in their 30s and 40s and stuff wouldn't do that. But nowadays, it's almost any age can be kind of wild and creative with their hair, and you can get away with it more. It's like anybody that wants to can act like a child now, can't they? So and feel young again.
Well, I would just say I think more people are getting more in touch with themselves and their creative side. So I guess people are a little bit more on expeditions. They want to explore that other side of themselves that they may have suppressed for many years.
Well, and I was on your Facebook page here. I see an image from a while back where there's a lady that looks like she's got a violin in her hair. I was like, wow, that is kind of wild.
Hair shows. I hope not to see that on the streets, but hair shows is another place that, a lot of hairstylists, like, they express their creativity just to show the world these are, maybe outrageous things to do, but it can be done. It's all art. So. What
would you say as a stylist, and over the years that you've been doing this, what would you say is the most creative thing that you've seen somebody do with their hair that you just thought, wow, I would have never thought to do that?
The most creative, and this is something that I actually saw on the web. I have not seen this as anyone personally, where I've seen someone's hair literally, I guess they had some extensions added to it, and it looked like a helicopter. And I thought that was the wildest thing that I will probably ever see in my lifetime. Until I saw the violin, I thought that was a little bit more wild. But that was something that I saw as very creative.
That's a little different.
Personally, I see a lot of people, again, the biggest way that they express a lot of their style nowadays is with color.
Well, and it's a good way to do it. Well, Charity, thank you very much for taking some time to chat with us today. I appreciate you doing that.
Awesome, John.
And again, Charity Wright, personal stylist, and I'm on her Facebook page right now at Charity Wright Styles. And then she's got a website, CharityWright.com, and it's WRIGHT. So if you're looking for her, and again, she's a personal stylist, giving us some ideas for what you could do to maybe freshen up your look and this season as we're changing into summer, change up your look and have some fun. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstein did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first place in the Western world to give women the right to vote was an island. Guess what the name of the island was?
What?
Man.
Really?
Yeah, the first place where women could vote was on the island of Man. That's kind of a fun fact. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Tangerines are named after the Moroccan city of Tangiers.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fun to know. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the 1830s, it was 1836, the U.S. government had so much extra money that it repaid all of its debts and still had money left over. It's been a while, hasn't it? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Each person's ear is unique. Your right ear is unique from your left ear. So if there happened to be an ear print at a crime scene, they could actually identify you by your ear print. Did you know that?
Huh.
I think I learned that on... what's
Forensic
that show?
Files?
That's the one.
I like
Yeah,
Forensic
we watched
Files.
that. We used to watch it all the time. We haven't watched it in a while. We should watch that. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
On average, adults watch double the amount of television as teenagers. So next time you complain about those dang kids watching too darn much TV, maybe you should put the remote down yourself, too. You guys quit watching TV. I'm trying to watch TV. All right. Thanks for listening to a couple of fun facts on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of the same old 9-to-5 rat race? Sick of not controlling your financial destiny? We partner with a leading health company whose mission is to support you to build a home-based business and help others be healthier, drop excess pounds, and live longer, more rewarding lives. Best of all, everyone who joins after you is placed on your team. No bugging family or friends. Call 866-741-7242 for more information. Or if you'd like, text the word income to the same number, 866-741-7242. 866-741-7242.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. This is kind of fun. It says an 8-year-old is determined to get to school on time no matter what. An 8-year-old Florida boy drove himself to school.
Oh, man.
First, he stole a car. Then he drove himself to school. Here's what happened. This 8-year-old boy from Florida missed the bus. The youngster was caught when schoolmates told a teacher that they saw him park the car in the faculty lot. This was at River Hills Elementary School in Temple Terrace, Florida, just northeast of Tampa. He was suspended from school for up to 10 days for endangering himself and others, was not arrested because police did not see him driving the car. So since the police did not catch him driving the car, apparently he gets away with it. But he's 8, an 8-year-old. Heidi, could you have driven a car when you were 8 years old?
No.
I think I probably could have.
No.
I don't know. I think I could have probably done. I got to drive a boat when I was that age. But here's one of the things that's funny. I'd never driven before, especially not a boat. And I remember when I was driving, I did this for some reason with the steering wheel. I was doing this like you're not even looking at me, and nobody else can tell because we're on the radio. But I kept turning the wheel back and forth. And when you're driving a boat and you do that, that's not a good idea. It's just causing everybody to almost fall out of the boat, which is not good. Anyway, this 8-year-old kid drove all the way to school, didn't crash into anything, stole a car somehow. I'm not sure how the kid stole a car, and only got caught because his schoolmates ratted him out. This happened at River Hills Elementary School in a little place there in Florida, and I can't even imagine an 8-year-old just stealing a car because he missed the bus. He didn't want to be late for like finger painting or something, so drove himself to school. I guess I'm proud of the kid for wanting to get to school. Not so proud of the kid for stealing the car and such, but there you go. Heidi apparently checked out. Coming up in a bit, I don't know what you're doing over there.
Sorry.
You doing your taxes? What are you
No,
doing?
sorry.
Just looking at her phone, doing something. Coming up, we're going to talk about cholesterol. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
How much do you pay for cable or satellite? Don't forget your DVR rental fees and online movie accounts. When you add it all up, many people are paying well over $100 a month. Some pay way more. What if you could cut that down to zero? There's a device that surfs the net to find shows and programs you like with no monthly fee. Many have already cut their cable or tossed out their dish. If you have internet and a TV, you're all set. Learn more about this awesome technology that can save you money every month at channelsurfertv.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 25% at channelsurfertv.com.
John
Heidi, is your cholesterol high?
I think it is.
Is it really high? A little high? Do we
a
know?
little high.
When was the last time we had that checked?
When we had our blood tests done.
Did they say we should be concerned or
They
anything?
said it's a little high, but it'll go down when you lose weight.
So has mine gone down?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, another reason to get your cholesterol in check, a new study suggests that the higher your cholesterol level in your 40s, the greater the chance of you developing Alzheimer's later in life. Ooh. So we should get ours down quick, is what we're saying. Study involved about 10,000 people, found those with high cholesterol levels between the ages of 40 and 45. That's where we're both right now, my beautiful bride Heidi and I. They're about 50% more likely than those with lower cholesterol levels to develop Alzheimer's. The new study comes on the heels of another study suggesting that having a big belly in the middle ages, I got that too, will greatly increase your risks of later developing Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. So, moral of the story is...
get rid of the belly.
Yeah. Pretty soon, I might be in trouble. I'll start reading the same stories over and over. What are you laughing about? Coming up, we got more fun stuff. I'm going to talk about an electric car. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we're going to talk about an electric car. Before we get to that, I've got this. This is actually kind of funny. This was sent to me. And I don't know if it's a true story, but we're going to say that it's a true story. It was sent to me. Supposedly, Rick, fresh out of accounting school, went to an interview for a good-paying job. The company boss, during the interview, said, I've got some questions for you. Talked about their education. Then he said, just quickly, he said, what's 3 times 7? And Rick said, 22. Afterwards, when he left there, he was thinking, I know I got that wrong. He put me on the spot. 3 times 7 is 21. There's no way I'm going to get this job. So about a week later, he gets a call, and he was really shocked when he found out that, hey, we'd like to visit with you about if you're interested, maybe starting next week. And so on his first day at the job, he thought, okay, I have to ask because I know I was wrong, and they're still going to hire me. So he said, my first day on the job, I sat down with the boss, and I said, I can't even believe I'm getting this job because I know when you asked me what's 3 times 7, I was wrong. I said 22. I can't. Why are you guys still hiring me? He said, because you were the closest. So apparently, this accounting firm is like, you were in the neighborhood. It was all right.
Wow.
All right. We got this electric car story coming up.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstein did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Heidi, would you drive an electric car?
No.
You wouldn't? I would. As long as I have a long enough cord to get me wherever I'm going. That's not how it works?
No.
Okay. Well, it says here it might actually cost more to drive that car that doesn't go to a gas pump. Many people care about the environment. Some of us, a relative few, care so much they're buying electric cars to save money and clean the air and save the environment and all those things. In doing so, you should be honored and rewarded for your thoughtfulness and your sacrifice, right? Well,
You would think.
Wrong. Totally outrageous. In Oregon, there's a state law now that requires owners of electric cars to pay $15 more to register their cars than people who have a gas-powered car. Why? Well, the government wants their money. If they're not going to get it from you at the pump, they're going to get it from you somewhere else. Since you won't be using gasoline and you won't be spending as much money on taxes and gasoline, they said there's an extra $15 surcharge for people who are going to, find a way out of paying our taxes. So there you go. I just think that's kind of crazy that they're going to charge them $15 a year extra because they're trying to do something good for the planet. But here's the other thing that I read. I was talking, we read a story about this, I don't know, 2 years ago, a year ago, whenever it was. When there was a big boom in people buying electric cars, back when gas prices were high. Remember back?
Yeah.
It's a couple years ago. There were a lot of people buying electric cars. They were costing more to get them. And then there were like battery problems where they had to replace batteries, and that was expensive. But then here's the thing a lot of people don't think of. You got to charge these things too. So you're plugging this thing in at your house at night, and you're charging
And
it
where
up.
do you think the energy is coming
And the
from?
electricity bills were going up. So when
Well, yeah, the electricity bills are going up, but you're using this additional electricity, and where is this electricity coming from? It's
Yeah.
not coming typically from a clean power source.
Yeah.
So really, are you doing anybody any good?
that was the story from like 2 years ago, where they said a person did the statistics on it. He's like, it's actually costing you more.
Yeah.
And you're using coal now instead of gas.
Right, exactly.
So they went through and had all the cons. But here's the good news. If you're driving an electric car and you are happy with it, end of story, that's all that matters.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter what this stupid story says. And if it's $15 a year extra in the state of Oregon, that's fine. Pay the $15, and if you like the car and you're happy with it, that's all that should really matter. So there you go. Coming up, we've got some good news, and I got a fun story. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Always like to share some positive news on this program, Heidi. We like to wrap it up with good news, and this is pretty good news here. Terry Panic never heard a sweeter song than the one her 3-year-old daughter sang. As a matter of fact, this song saved Terry's life. With her husband out of town, Terry and her daughter, Abby Jo, were home alone when Terry suffered an epileptic seizure. Now, that's kind of scary.
That is.
Now, her daughter, by the way, is 3. So Abby Jo, only 3. Right before she passed out, she said to her daughter, I think Mommy's having trouble. Now, here's the cool thing. Abby Jo is in preschool, and she learned a song about calling 911. And Panic said she remembered, as she was, drifting off, hearing the little girl singing the first line, and the girl got the telephone and punched in the correct number, 911. Abby's preschool teacher said, it's every teacher's crowning glory.
That's nice.
Not only to show that they've learned something in class, but they were able to use it in a life-saving situation. I think that's just an amazing story. I mean, it's a good thing her kid pays attention at school.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, how amazing is that? And there was a story, I'm trying to think when this was, like 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago? I don't know. It all kind of blends together. We read a story about a wrong number that saved somebody's life. Remember that? Mm-hmm. There's a person that it was a wrong number, and when they called, this person was like breathing funny, and they were saying they weren't feeling well, and are like, I think I've got the wrong number.
Right.
And then they got, wait a minute, maybe that person should get some help. And they had to keep calling
Yeah, I
and keep
remember
calling.
that.
But I just think it's amazing when, these situations like this, and again, like this one here, like I said, it's a 3-year-old girl sang a song that she
That's
learned
very
in
sweet.
school that had the 911, info, so she knew which number to call. So there you go. I think it's important to teach our kids that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Teach them right away.
Yeah.
Put it on speed dial even. Speed dial. Punch this, then you hit option
Star
72.
72.
This. Now punch over here. No, just make it easy. Just say 911. I should learn the song. I don't know what it is. Maybe we can
I don't
sing
know
it here.
that either.
All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
Time now for a bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Sunny Radio, where it's always in the 80s. Thank you so much for listening on a Monday. Farm and ranch families comprise about 2% of the U.S. population. They're a group that each and every one of us depend on, because if we didn't have the farmers and ranchers out there, we'd all get very, very hungry. But sometimes we take that for granted. Here is an easy way that we can all support our future farmers. Jessie Corning is from Culvers. She's a senior marketing manager with the company Culvers. And Allison Wettig is a former FFA officer and a University of Wisconsin student. We're going to be chatting with them about a program that's coming up, a really great event that's coming up this Thursday. Let's start with Jessie. Jessie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having us today.
We're very excited to have you guys, and you've got this cool partnership with FFA, and I'd love to learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing. You got some cool stuff coming up, don't you?
Yeah, Allison is with me here today, and she is a former state Wisconsin FFA past president. And I'm a marketing manager with Culvers, and I help lead our Thank You Farmers initiative.
And you guys have got a really fun event coming up this Thursday. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Absolutely. So we've got about over 600 restaurants that are going to be participating in a system-wide day of giving back, and we are looking to support future leaders of agriculture, just like Allison, who's with me today. Guests can go in and get their dessert on Thursday, May 4th. For $1, they can purchase a single scoop of custard, and that $1 stays local in their community to support agriculture education.
And this is something that's raised a lot of money for the local chapters around the country, isn't it?
Yes. Over the past 5 years, we've raised over $1 million to support ag education, and all of those dollars stay local in the communities where they're raised.
That's really cool. Now, Allison, how do you know the folks at Culver's there?
So I actually know the folks at Culver's because they are a big sponsor of the National FFA organization and convention, and I had the opportunity to meet Jesse and some of the other Culver's crew while I was serving as a state FFA officer in 2014.
That's really cool. Now, as a former FFA officer, why is it important for people to support agriculture education? This is a big thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is a super big thing. Supporting agriculture education really means that you're supporting the future of our industry. And as a former state FFA officer, I had the opportunity not only to learn about agriculture, but also to be able to travel, meet new people and agriculturalists, whether they be a farmer or working at their local cooperative. So it's really cool to be able to give back to support people who will be benefiting the future of our industry.
That's absolutely awesome. Jesse, let's talk to you for a second about Scoop of Thanks Day. It's this Thursday. Tell us a little bit about the big event that's going to be happening.
Absolutely. So we're really excited to be working together with our restaurants and their guests. So this is, again, a great way for our guests to go in and get their dessert at Culver's and maybe even have dessert at lunch and have dessert again in the afternoon. You can donate that $1 to support your local agriculture education group that the restaurant is working with and, just come in and get some dessert and feel great about supporting a fantastic organization like FFA.
Jesse, why is it so important for organizations like Culver's to support things like FFA and other agricultural programs?
Well, they really are the future to make sure that we can continue to serve the delicious, wholesome food that we do in our restaurants today. So we know that whether these ag students grow up to be farmers or if they go into one of the other 300 careers in the industry, that it's just really important to continue to support them. We are part of the agriculture industry being in the restaurant business.
That's really cool. Now, for people who maybe would like to learn a little bit more about the big event, Scoop of Thanks Day, it's coming up this Thursday. Where can they go to get some more information on this, Jesse?
Yeah, please go to culvers.com/farmers, and you can learn all about the Thank You Farmers initiative as well as Scoops of Thanks Day that's coming up on Thursday, May 4th.
Very, very nice. Well, thank you both for doing what you're doing, and I'm a big fan of Culver's. I remember the very first time we had ever tried Culver's. My wife and kids and I had moved to a community where they had a Culver's. We didn't live in one before, so we moved there and we saw this sign that said frozen custard and butter burgers, and we're like, what is that? What is frozen custard and what is a butter burger? And I remember the first time we finally tried it, we were like, well, let's go check it out. I don't know what that is, but let's try it. And we went back 3 times that week. That's how much we liked it. So you guys, you got a good thing going there. It's very, very good stuff.
That's an awesome story. It's a great company to work for, and we're so proud to support students like Allison.
Well, Jesse, thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much for having us.
And Allison, thank you also for your interest in that field. It's important that we have farmers in the future. Without farmers, we would all get very, very hungry, wouldn't we?
We really would, yes. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, ladies, very much for chatting with me. Again, Scoop of Thanks Day. It's coming up this Thursday, and I encourage you to get out and enjoy a little frozen custard, and more details on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio.